tried to do like a cute reverse smoky eye and it just looks like I have two black eyes, so I'm sorry. So as you can tell by the title of this video, I've had a rough week and a half. My name is Maryelin, and for those of you who don't know, about a week and a half ago, I had to get rushed to the hospital in the middle of everything that's going on right now, and you know, pretty much beginning finals week. So I don't even know how I'm alive right now. I was having like stomach pains, felt like cramps, it felt like a stomach ache, it felt like hell, okay? Like it did not feel normal. I woke up one morning and the stomach pain like literally brought me to life. So I went to the bathroom and you know, it kept getting worse. Like I brushed my teeth, I tried to throw up, I tried, you know, everything to make it go away, not to be TMI, but I tried to make the stomachache go away and it wasn't going away. I was going back and forth between my bed, the bathroom, my bed, the bathroom, just trying to make this pain go away, and it wasn't. So I texted my mom. My mom was already at my sister's house. She takes care of the baby while my sister's at work. So I asked her, I'm like, do we have like any like Pepto-Bismol or anything for stomach aches? And she says no, but drink some water with baking soda and that should help like alleviate the pain. I drank 2 cups of baking soda water. It was disgusting, but I drank 2 cups. I had drank already like 3 Tylenols at that point. I had thrown up already like twice. I stayed in my bed for most of the day. My mom was telling me try to eat something, and I didn't feel like eating anything because I already knew whatever was going inside my mouth was gonna come right back out. Like it was not gonna stay down. My mom got home. I drank half a bottle of Pepto-Bismol and nothing was working. Okay, like nothing was working. Obviously I took it like within like the time stamps that they said to take it. I didn't just chug half the bottle. I spent the night in my mom's room and I still had like these pains. Like it would wake me up at night and it felt like cramps. So I'm like, maybe I'm getting my period, but I'm like, why am I throwing up? Like I don't understand anything. Everything that I was eating was coming out. Like nothing would stay down, you guys, nothing. I started drinking, I think it was like ibuprofen and acetaminophen. I don't know how to say that. I know how to say it in Spanish, but I don't know how to say it in English. So I started drinking painkillers and it was helping like alleviate like the cramps. But it would alleviate the pain for like 3 hours and then it would wake me up and I would just be in pain all over again. Wake up the next morning, still in pain. My mom is like telling me, get out of bed, you need to walk, you need to eat. She wanted to like make sure that I was okay, and I felt like I wasn't, and I'm like, I don't want to eat because it's gonna come up. I know my body and I know what I eat, it's not gonna stay down. Walking would hurt, so I'm like, I just feel like I want to lay down in bed all day and just cry about the pain. Like that's what I was feeling. So I finally get out of bed and I get like this cramp, but it's like on the right side of my belly, and I'm like, huh. Before it was just, you know, like everywhere, and now it's on the right side. Like this is weird. This sounds a lot like appendicitis. Mind you, I only know this because both my mom and one of my sisters have had, you know, surgery for appendicitis. So I'm like, great, I think it's my turn. And I call my mom. She comes upstairs and she says, you need to get out of bed, you need to walk, you need to eat something, you need to shower. Like she wanted to roll out everything before taking me to the hospital, because I don't know if you guys know, but it feels like the world is ending right now, and if you step out, you're pretty much dead. So my mom didn't want to take me to hospital, but I was in a lot of pain, and I'm like, I think it's appendicitis. It hurts where the appendix is. I showered and then I started getting ready because I'm like, I'm going to the hospital. I packed my bag. My mom comes in. She helps me pack up, so she was already on board with me going to hospital. And we take off. We go to the hospital. They're not letting anyone in. I mean, only if they're only letting in the person who needs to be like taken care of. So my mom wasn't able to go in. She pretty much dropped me off, and it was scary, not gonna lie, because seeing my mom drive off, it was kind of like, great, when am I gonna see you again? Like, I don't know how long I'm gonna be here for. My phone was at 20%. I did bring my charger, but my phone was at like 15-20%. It was dying, and I'm like, I'm gonna be here alone, and this is scary. Even though I'm an adult, I don't feel like one. So they took my temperature outside of the hospital before letting me in, because obviously one of the biggest symptoms right now for the virus is a fever. So I didn't have a fever walking in, so they let me in fine. I had my mask, my gloves on, and I started filling out the paperwork. Basic emergency room procedure. Got put into a room. I told them my pain. They put me on IV. And once the IV was in, I kind of already knew that I was going to be staying overnight. And I was, trying to text my mom as much as I could, and, keeping her updated, keeping my family updated, keeping my friends updated. Because I was alone, and, I had never been, taken to the emergency room, much less, like, on my own. So my nurse is, like, coming in frequently to check on me, saying that the doctor's coming, they're gonna check, and they're gonna do, like, a CAT scan. To make sure that what I had was appendicitis. So I'm like, okay, cool. So as I'm waiting for the doctor to come in, I have morphine going into my IV. I have like the fluids coming in. They're not letting me drink water. And I get a fever. And I call my nurse and I'm like, hey, I don't feel good. And I was shaking as I was telling her this. Like, no pun intended, but I wasn't feeling so hot. So she calls the doctor. They take me to get a CAT scan, and staying still for that CAT scan was the hardest thing I've ever had to do, because I felt like I was so cold, and it was horrible. But anyways, CAT scan took like 20 minutes because I kept shaking, and they couldn't get like a clear image of, whatever was going on the inside. I get put back into my room, and they gave me medication for my fever. It calms down, and about an hour later, another nurse comes in. She's like, hey, I'm here to do the test for COVID-19. And I'm like, great. I did not want to have that 10-inch Q-tip up my nose, but unfortunately it went up not once, not twice, but 3 times. So I got tested 3 times for the virus. All came back negative, so I was good on that. And I got taken up to the 2nd floor for surgery because I indeed had appendicitis. After I woke up, it took me to the room that I was going to be at for the night, and my doctor goes in like later that night after I get my surgery, and he's like, oh, the reason why you got a fever, the reason why your heart was like beating really fast throughout the surgery, the reason why you had high blood pressure was because your appendix was stuck to like your stomach wall, and upon removing it from the wall, it ruptured. So I had a ruptured appendix, and for those of you who don't know, that's pretty bad, because if they leave any of the contents that spill out from the appendix into your stomach, if they leave any of that in, you can get fevers, and that's just like the minimum. Like, that's the least that can happen. You get fevers, you get like infections on the inside of your body. You can die from this. So I don't remember everything he said like word for word, but I do remember him saying that it was like a complicated surgery, like a little bit, but that I should be fine, and I was gonna have to stay all of like the next day. I was staying 2 nights at the hospital in total, and on the 3rd day I got discharged. And honestly, being in the hospital by myself and having to like recover and force myself to eat because I woke up and I still didn't have an appetite. I was still kind of traumatized from everything that I was throwing up. I was stressed, sending emails to my professors because I was entering finals week and I'm here in the hospital getting surgery for my appendix. So it was just, there was a lot of stress going on. Luckily I did get like extensions for everything. Everybody, all my professors were understanding, which I appreciate so much. But I was in the hospital by myself, having to push myself to recover. They would tell me, try to walk around like the hospital with appendicitis after you get your appendix removed. The best way, the fastest way to recover. You just have to walk around a lot, and I didn't want to leave my room because I didn't want to be more exposed to you know, everything else that's in the air right now. So every time I would leave my room, I would have my mask on, but I felt like I was suffocating. So it was just really bad, and I was already having a hard time breathing as it was. So I walked around the hospital maybe like twice, and I walked in my room, my hospital room, like back and forth for the remainder of the time because I didn't want to leave. And it was just crazy seeing the hospital, like, given the circumstances, like it was like so empty. And you know, I had asked one of the nurses, because my mom was telling me, I asked one of the nurses if any visitors were allowed, and the nurse told me that pretty much only if you're dying they let people come and see you. So it was pretty scary. Aside from being out in the streets, the hospital is probably the worst place you can go at a time like this, and that's where I ended up, so I was very scared. For the most part, I think my recovery has been pretty well. The timing did suck, but here I am. That's all for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys stay safe at a time like this. I know it's inevitable, but try not to get appendicitis right now. Thank you guys so much for watching, and make sure you give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it. Make sure you subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed already, and I'll see you guys hopefully in my next video. So yeah, bye.